Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for Alien Romulus.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
Okay, before we get started, I'm going to be issuing a mega spoiler warning on this one. I am talking spoilers right the way through this film, references, characters, you name it. If you haven't seen this film yet, come back later, I guess. You have been warned. Okay, so Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez, who brought us the Evil Dead remake from 2013. My word, I can't believe it's been that long. And also Don't Breathe. He's a horror director and he brings all of his horror charm to this film. It is set in between Alien and Aliens, and it follows a group of some 20-something-year-old colonists who are stuck on this mining colony. They are stuck in dead-end jobs. Rain, who is the central character in this film, played by Kaylee Spaney, I think it is. Oh, forgive me if I butchered that name. And her awkward brother, Andy, who we learn is a synthetic human. These workers are just completely downtrodden. They've laboured away for years and years and years, and they find out that they have to labour away for even longer. So they come to the decision, now we're not going to do this, we are going to come up with a better idea. And one of them, of these group, has detected an abandoned spaceship in orbit just above them. So they make the decision to fly up to the space station, retrieve the cryogenic pods that will no doubt be on board, and utilise them to get themselves across to this new world where they can live happily ever after. How nobody else on the planet has noticed an abandoned spaceship dotted around the atmosphere is anyone's guess. Later on, when they fly up there to the ship, they discover it's actually a space station owned by Weyland-Yutani Corp. And how Weyland-Yutani Corp haven't responded to the fact that one of their space stations has gone dark, again, is anyone's guess. But when they get on board, they realise that this space station is split into two. It's both Remus and Romulus, science and military. And that should give you alarm bells immediately. When they're dotting around through the space station, they discover that all the crew have been massacred by, you guessed it, a xenomorph. Right at the start of the film, we see a pod be collected from deep space and brought in to the science station itself. And of course, it is revealed that xenomorph was in fact the xenomorph that Ripley blasted out of the airlock in Alien. So there we go. We have the pieces. They're all put together. Now, when they're on board, they get the fuel pods together, the cryogenic pods together, and by doing so, they accidentally trigger the facehuggers that were in deep cryogenic sleep somehow. How they've got facehuggers and managed to take them out of eggs and put them in again, I don't friggin' know. Who would want to do that? I don't friggin' know, but they've managed to do it, and these facehuggers awaken and all fucking shit breaks loose. It absolutely goes batshit crazy from there, in all the right ways, to be quite honest with you. The horror is done really well. It's very tense, it's very dark, it's very gritty. The long corridors are used expertly to give the sense of there's absolutely nowhere they can go. They're just going to be running for miles. They've got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. It is really expertly done in terms of the setting, the feel, and all of this. The opening third for me of the film, I think, is where it's the most strong. It's dark, it's dank, it's this dishevelled future existence that we've seen in Alien and Aliens, where humanity, as is said in the film as well, has absolutely no right to be in space. How they've managed to do it is beyond anything, because they're falling apart at the seams. It's revealed in the film that humanity is dying as it is. Well, we can tell. Everybody's depressed, everybody's ill, nobody's doing anything, they're all stuck on worlds and dying whilst working. And this is where the film excels for me. It creates that world building that was always there, but it gives a bit more flesh and detail to it. It's almost a shame that we end up on yet another spaceship, on yet another space station, instead of on this dark, dank world where, you know, the xenomorph might wreak havoc there. It's almost a shame that we're doing that we're doing the opposite. But it's interesting to me that the inspiration is there from Alien. It is there from Aliens. The connections are all there. The connective tissues are all there. But not just that. There's elements of Blade Runner in here as well. So you can see throughout the film, especially with the detailing of the world, how it looks and how it feels, the detailing and the inspiration from Ridley Scott is quite clearly there, and it's obviously no mistake given that he's, you know, the major producer on the film and his production company is involved right the way through this film. Some of the characters, I'll be honest with you, some of the characters I didn't really care about. There's a brother and sister in here that was brilliantly mentioned by Mr. Spider-Dan of Spider-Dan and the Secret Boars podcast when we were discussing the film, which I'd missed. One of them's English, one of them's American, and he's a brother and sister. Oh, okay. Like, what's going on there? But again, during the course of the film, you end up not really caring about any of these people. They become fodder for the right reasons. At the end of the day, we're here to see an alien cause havoc, aren't we? Now, getting into the nitty-gritty of the plot of the film, we are introduced to a bit of an uncanny valley moment in that another synthetic person comes to the fore. They use him to gain information as to what the hell's been going on, and it is, of course, a lookalike of Ash. It is Ian Holmes' face on an animatronic body, and the character's called Rook in this, and he basically explains in pure exposition, which is fine, it works well in this setting, what's been going on, what's happened, what the discoveries are, and everything gets linked together. And I'm not just talking about Alien or Aliens, we get Prometheus in there as well, we get Covenant in there. My word, they lay it on thick and fast. And unfortunately, for me, while the exposition was perfectly fine, I was into it, I was interested. When they started bringing in the Prometheus stuff, I kind of thought, oh God, I thought this was done with. But, you know, it's Ridley Scott, isn't it? It's his baby Prometheus, he's not going to let it die. If he wasn't allowed to make a third film, he's certainly not going to give up the franchise to not have his Prometheus baby be talked about. But my main issue with this is, for me, the Ian Holm thing just didn't feel right. It looked off. It sounded off. I know whoever's done the voice for Ian Holm did a very good job. You know, it's pretty much on point. But you can't help but think, oh my God, it's just not him. It can't be him. He died a few years ago. And I feel like there was a bit of a missed opportunity maybe for there. If they wanted to go the full Prometheus route, which they do in this film, and I'll talk a bit more very shortly about that. If they wanted to do that, why not just shell out for Michael Fassbender? I get it. They wanted to give Ian Holm a bit of a lovely send-off, because unfortunately for him, for some reason, he just got sidelined by Hollywood in his final years, which is a shame, and his family have made, you know, a lot of reference to that. And from all accounts, from what I've read, they actually really, really loved this. So fair play, I get it. It just didn't sit well with me. And the Prometheus stuff, go into that now. They introduced the black goo again. I get it. I know why they want to add it, but this film becomes very busy very quickly in the middle section. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue. Obviously, we get the alien from the first film. They're introducing marine stuff later on in the film as well. It all gets very, very busy very, very quickly. And unfortunately, the Prometheus angle seems less like a natural progression of what is an interesting story from the start, and feels more like a mandated, you must do this from Ridley Scott, which unfortunately for me hampers the film. It really does. It really does hamper the film, because it all becomes about this black goo again. And I'll be honest with you, I don't friggin' like that. I didn't like it about Prometheus. I don't like it in this. It is what it is. It's all down to personal preference here, to be quite honest with you. But coming away from that, in terms of the suspense, the horror, the action, it's all there. It's all good. Thank God, it's all good for a change. After how many fucking Alien films and Alien sequels, Alien vs Predator, which is all fucking shit. Prometheus, Covenant, which are okay. They're alright. They're not great. Let's be honest. Stop lying to yourself. They're not great. It's the reason why they went dark, right? They're not great. Okay? After all these sequels, I mean, how many are there? Alien 3, 4, AVP, AVP2, fuck me, 7 Alien films following on from Aliens itself. And finally, we have something that feels good in terms of back to basics horror, the haunted house sort of horror thing where you're not sure what's round the corner. Yeah, it does get a bit chaotic in the final third, again, which I'll come to in just a moment. But, it's all there. The body horror's there, the imagery, the phallic imagery, the sexual organ imagery, which is there from H.R. Geiger. It's all there. It all looks intense, and it adds to that unnerving quality of the film, something that's been sadly missed from subsequent films, that have been made with the aliens involved. It's this sense of dread and foreboding going through the dark corners, not knowing what's around the corner. I mean, the film itself does cut a bit fine with some of the little things and pieces, like, oh, if we make ourselves warmer, the facehuggers won't see us.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Fuck off. What is that? That's a thing that you've written yourself into a corner and you don't know how to get the fuck out of there situation. Nah, I didn't buy that whatsoever. And then we have aim assist. Fuck me. Aim assist. Yes. Rain is a brilliant character in this film. She builds herself up. She's going through the fucking ringer. She's losing friends. She thinks she's losing a brother at one point. She's going through the ringer. She's developing balls of fucking steel like we've seen with Ripley before. But then she's given this pulse rifle which has aim assist. And when it comes to it, her and her brother are stuck down a corridor. There's aliens coming all over the fucking place. The gun does all the fucking work for her. No. That is 101 of how to remove her character from having any real victory in of herself in this moment. Because all she's doing is pulling the trigger. The gun's doing the work. It's completely opposite to when Ripley fucking absolutely decimated all those aliens in Aliens and blew up the fucking Queen. It's the complete opposite of that. There, she was just blasting away, completely obsessed and, consumed by rage and frustration and anger. But no, here, at a vital moment when they've got nothing else, they can't go anywhere, they're trapped in this corridor, that should be a resounding victory moment for them. They use anti-gravity to lift up the aliens, which slows everything down for me, which again took away the threat. These aliens just fucking floating like fucking marshmallows in the fucking wind. But there was a moment for her to pick them all off herself. But no, this gun does all the work, and it just took away from what should have been a real earned sense of accomplishment for me in that moment. And then, following on from that, we have this really silly floating acid bloods thing where they have to float through it, and God, I was like, no, that really, come on. Creating a problem that didn't exist. But there you go. That's like the major couple of issues I had really with this. Coming away from that, I think the character herself, Rain and Andy, are really fucking good. The actors are really great in this film. In fact, from top down, I think they're pretty great. There's some that are just there to be killed off. Fine, fair enough. But Rain and Andy, they are brilliant performers. I mean, the guy playing Andy, I can't remember his name, really, for the life of me. David Johnson, I think it is. He plays this really nuanced, very quiet character throughout. There's a change halfway through the film where he's implanted with a chip which gives him access to everything and basically almost corrupts him into, being a company man. He's become singularly focused on getting this liquid to the Weyland-Yutani Corp at the expense of pretty much everyone. So his mandate changes, which is really good. It's interesting to see the shift in the character in there. So, the actors are great in this film. Like I said, I think the cinematography overall is fantastic. It's really dark and depressing, like I've said. But it's just those little moments. And unfortunately for me, the film is compounded even more so when there are forced elements from previous films, and the most egregious for me, the most egregious part is when they utilize a line from Aliens, and you're gonna know which fucking line it is before it even fucking happens. You're gonna know. And Rain's being attacked by an alien. He swoops down, gets the alien, and blasts it the fuck away, and says, "Stay away from her, you bitch."
Aliens is a classic, okay? Get away from her, you bitch. I believe the line is stay away from her, you bitch. It's film class, right?
And fuck you, Scream 2. I know I just said that line wrong. Fuck you.
Get away from her, you bitch!
But it's all fucking wrong. The delivery is appalling. It's not his fault. Delivery is appalling. And it feels tacked on and tacky. And it's supposed to, I get it, it's supposed to be this moment where everyone goes, "Yeah, stay away from her, you bitch." But instead you go, "Oh, fucking really? Really? Come on." I mean, it's one of those fan service moments in this film that just doesn't fucking land whatsoever. It's cringy, it's poorly conceived, it's poorly utilised. They shouldn't have fucking done it. They should have had the courage of their convictions to do something else. Create your own fucking massive impact moment. You know what I mean? You've done so well with the film so far. Do something new. Create something new that fans are going to go, "Oh, do you remember that bit when he did this and fucking said that?" That's your chance. But no, you fucking copied from another film. Again, it's the Marvel fucking problem. Stop referencing other fucking shit and do your own fucking thing, which you were doing in this film anyway. What a waste. What a waste of an opportunity. And again, the ending of this film, unfortunately, and this is the problem, like the first half of the film, I fucking was massively into it. Really into it. The latter second half, we are given an ending that is all far too familiar, far too samey to the previous entries yet again. And it feels a bit like The Force Awakens in that regard. Too similar, too samey. We're brought down to a final conflict between Rain and a creature, which turns out to be a fucking hybrid. Don't get me wrong, the hybrid, as much as I don't like it, I don't like the use of the hybrid in this. I'm sick of seeing a hybrid. It's freaky as fuck. Don't get me wrong, the hybrid is freaky as shit. Absolutely freaky. I love the way it's designed. I think it's great. I just think the utilisation of another hybrid again, when it hasn't worked in other entries, is just, again, that mandate being fucking forced. You must utilise the fucking hybrid because that's what we're fucking going for in Prometheus. Thank you, Ridley Scott. Appreciate it. But again, the problem with the ending itself is that we follow the same trajectory. It's the same way of dealing with the creature, exactly the same, style. How we get it out the fucking airlock kind of thing. Again, yes, okay, they use it slightly differently, and they use this planetary ring system, which that's not how planetary rings work from my understanding, but fair enough. And they use that to get rid of it. I mean, but it's the same. It's exactly the same beats, the same tone, the same method, the same result. At the end of the day, they get the fucking thing off the ship and job done, apparently, anyway. But it felt flat. The ending felt flat for me. Completely felt flat. Yes, it's freaky. Yes, it's fucked up. I love that everything is practical effect. Even the hybrid, much to my surprise. Well done, that fucking basketball player. You look fucking superb, mate. But it's just the same beats over and over again. Man, the opportunity is there to do something completely fucking brand new, and we're just following the same trajectory, aren't we? And again, the very ending is we go to sleep in a cryopod and off we fuck for the inevitable sequel.
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
So yeah, there we go. All in all, and this review's going on, all in all, I have to say that I did enjoy, much to my chagrin, I did enjoy a great deal about this film. I love that it's back to basics. I love that the horror elements are there. I love that the H.R. Geiger elements are there. I love the imagery. I love, some of the setup. as much as I didn't like the Ian Holm usage, I loved that fucking bit of exposition. It got me fucking thinking. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, these xenomorphs are fucked, aren't they? We always knew they were fucked. We always knew they were stacked and beyond the most powerful creatures in the universe, but they really are. They ramp up, you know, the chaos that these creatures could bring that we've seen in Alien and Aliens. I'm not going to bother talking about the other films because I don't give a flying fuck about them. But it's those moments which elevated me, even though the Ian Holm thing brought me down and took me out of the film completely for a good 5 minutes. It was all there. It's just the ending and some of the choices towards the end of the film, the unnecessary line usage, the unnecessary, oh, look at what we're doing. It's exactly the same as what happened in Aliens and all this stuff. Oh, it's just completely unnecessary. And it takes away from my final thoughts on the film. But, like I said, as a back to basics horror, as a good built alien movie, something that we've been missing for fucking decades, it is really good. It's easily the top third film of the franchise. It has to be. And for that reason, I am giving this film a 7 out of 10. It is a good movie. Don't get me wrong, it is a good movie. It probably feels like I've been bashing the film, but I've only been bashing those small minor moments just to really stick out to me and really make me go, oh, really? If that makes sense. The film overall, the performances are great, the direction's great, the cinematography's great. The music is really atmospheric. The first half of the film is very much, you know, from the Alien style. I think it's Jerry Goldsmith. The second half of the film sort of ramps up the energy a bit more into sort of Aliens territory. I can't remember who the composer was for that, but we get those differing feels, and they infuse upon the film and almost create something that is in of itself. It's just unfortunate for me that the Prometheus elements hamper it. They fundamentally hamper it for me. They bring it back down to a place that I didn't really want to revisit. And that's an issue that I think maybe we'll see get resolved in the inevitable sequel, I'm guessing, and the future from there. But who knows? We'll have to see what happens, because it certainly seems like the story is full-blown in on the Prometheus angle. But there you go. A 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this film. I am going to rewatch it. I think I'm going to rewatch it this afternoon. So it has been a good, fun film to watch. I'm glad that I actually enjoyed it. I am glad that I actually enjoyed it. So I would encourage any of you, if you're on the fence about seeing it, go and watch it. For me, it's as good, if not better, than the Prey remake. I can't remember what I gave Prey, to be honest, but it's on par with that for me, I think, if not a little bit better. But there you go. 7 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you've stuck with the review for this long, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. And like I said, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What worked for you? What didn't work for you? You know, are there other bits and pieces in the film that you really sort of got on board with? Are there bits and pieces that you, like me, you went, ah, damn, why have you done that kind of thing? Let me know. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. I'm always interested to hear everybody's thoughts. If you completely disagree with my opinion, that's fine. It's only my opinion. By all means, let me know in the comment section down below. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.